Hi everyone, Lady Amalthea here with a bit of a different video. So hang on, let me just put my phone on silent because it might make noise and distract me. So you might be aware, you may not have realized, you may not have just watched a video where I've mentioned it, I'm non-binary. And that's an important part of my life. I came out, I guess, in about 2019, I think. And in 2020, in about late March, early April 2020, I changed my name and started going by Amalthea. And then eventually got around to changing it legally later in the year. My partner Jessie helped me fill out the paperwork, for which I am eternally grateful because paperwork is stressful. And so that's just a part of my journey. And in this very chaotic, messy craft room that you can see there's a lot going on, I had a box of cards, a shoebox, to give you a rough idea of almost every birthday, Christmas, Valentine's, whatever, almost every card I'd ever received. And in about 2015, 2016, I started scanning those cards because I was trying to digitize everything and get rid of clutter and, minimalize my stuff, basically. That project stopped because I moved, I think. And then I just never picked it back up again. And that shoebox has just been sitting there. The shoebox has just been sitting there. It's been on the top of my shelving unit that you cannot quite see, which is over there. It's been sitting on the top of my shelving unit gathering dust. And I've been thinking about this box. And I was thinking, should I just scan them? Should I throw them out? What should I do with them? Because it's just taking up space. And I had finally resolved that I was just going to throw them out after having a few conversations with a few different friends who are trans and who've gone through the name change, because not every trans person changes their name. But they said, a few of the people said things along the lines of, I just got rid of it all because I'm not that person anymore. And I thought, okay, that's what I'll do. And I am constantly in the process of reorganizing in here. I'm trying to start a new sewing project, and I was trying to clear some space, and I watched a Kellyanne Maddox housework ramble just before making this video, where I tidied up the top of the shelving unit. I'm quite happy with how it is at the moment. It's not staying like that forever. I have some toy hammocks on the way that I will be putting all my darling plushies in so that they are no longer in danger from the puppies. Because Mabel likes to eviscerate toys. And I really don't want her doing that to precious ones of mine. In this house we have my plushies and Mabel's plushies. I also may have donated 2 of the plushies from my collection to Mabel's collection because they were given to me by someone who could stand to be eviscerated themselves. I didn't say that. So I will actually take great pleasure in watching Mabel destroy those toys. But in the process, I got that box down and I went, okay, I'm going to throw this box out because I've been meaning to do this for so long. I've got a huge stack of rubbish in here that we need to go through and say goodbye to. Like I said, ongoing, constant process, this room. And so I got the box down, but then I started looking at the cards. And there were cards from most the MVP at cards in my family is my grandma. She is just astonishing. She sends so many gorgeous cards, and So the person I've received the most cards from in my entire life is definitely her. And so it was quite lovely. She still sends cards, and now she says woof to Mabel. She used to say woof to Gimli. It's very sweet. But yeah, so all these cards, and one's from my father who passed away in 2016. There was just an envelope from him that just said happy birthday on it. I don't even know what the card inside it was, but it was just his handwriting. And, I don't see that much these days, as you can imagine. I do have some of his possessions, but they're not with me in Perth. They're still in Sydney, and I'm going to be getting them here, but that's another whole other thing. And then seeing cards from friends from high school, from primary school, even kindergarten, like preschool, friends from other countries, my godparents, all these people who aren't in my life anymore, my cousins, just all these people, and I just couldn't do it. I got a bit emotional, actually, particularly seeing the ones from like my grandparents as well, because my nana and papa passed away. My nana passed away in 2011, I think, and my papa passed away in 2004. So they've both been gone for a long time. 2010. Did Nana pass away in 2010? Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, my grandparents have been gone for quite a long time, so it's been a long time since I've received a card from them. And just Nana's handwriting, and seeing my dad's handwriting, and seeing cards from people I just don't even remember, like people I know were my friends but I have no memory of them, ones with strange and puzzling messages that I'm sure made sense at the time. Beautiful handmade cards, some very creative cards. A card with beans stuck on it, that was weird. But all kinds of beautiful things. Friends from when I was in school in Fiji, like all these different things. And I just couldn't part with it. And it's complicated when you change your name and become a new person, because I guess like I'm not medically transitioning in any way. I don't feel that necessary for me. So it's really been more the social transition. And my family do still struggle a bit with the name thing. They're not actually aware I'm non-binary because of many complicated reasons. But yeah, my mum, I spoke to her on Mother's Day, which was this most recent Sunday, and she dead named me 4 times before she corrected herself. So yeah, they're not great at it. And I have a lot of complex feelings around my dead name. I haven't completely removed it from my life because there's things like Centrelink I need to update, and a few things, and I occasionally get bills from the hospital I had my last surgery at, in that name, and yeah, there's a few things, and I have to update my PayPal, and all those things that are just a nightmare when you are not good at administrative tasks. And so like I still see that name, and I'm not saying it, and if you know it, please don't leave it in the comments, because it makes me very uncomfortable. So that part of why I cried when I was looking at those cards, because I kept seeing this name who I never liked my name. I never identified with it. I wanted to change my name from as long as I can remember. When I was little, maybe 8 or 9, I decided I wanted to change my name to Polyester. And I recently, like last Friday, learnt that name came from the Samurai Pizza Cats. So go figure. I thought it was a combination of Polly Pocket and Esther from the Bible. Esther is now my middle name. But yeah, I never identified with it. I always hated it. I always went by nickname versions of the name. I often went just by nicknames in general. A lot of my friends, even now, still call me Messy Cat. And look, those cards were just addressed to Messy Cat, so that made me smile. And yeah, so I have this very complicated relationship, and unfortunately, it's quite a common name. So I do come across it all the fucking time, regardless of if it's attached to me or not. And actually, one of my partners doesn't know my dead name because he met me after I changed my name, and I've had this constant thing of, do I tell him it? Do I not? Do I tell him? Do I not? And sometimes having to like modify stories to make sure I don't accidentally tell him in the context of the story what the name was, because I've got this thing where I don't want him to know, not because I don't want him to know who I was, but because I feel like it's not relevant. And he's on the same page as me. He doesn't need to know it. He feels like he doesn't need to know it. And this is not an invitation for any nasty trolls on the internet to go and tell him what that name is, by the way. But yeah, we've had discussions about this. Like he's aware of how I feel, and I'm aware of how he feels. So we're on the same page, which is good because we communicate very well. But yeah, like I have very complicated feelings about this name, and what I really want to do is keep building up my life in the name that truly belongs to me, which is Amalthea, which, you know, has been, I mean, I changed my Instagram handle to Lady Amalthea in, I don't know, 2018 or so. I genuinely can't remember when I actually changed it. And then it was in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which came out in March 2020, that I finally went, you know what, maybe I could call myself Amalthea. And I tested it out there and loved it when the villagers called me Amalthea, and then asked my friends if they would mind calling me that, and then had a very awkward conversation with my parents that did not go well, where I told them I was changing my name. So that was fun. But yeah, generally people in my life are very supportive of my new name. And I really appreciate that. I mean, I lost my train of thought because I heard a dog outside. Specifically one of my dogs, I hope. Wait, here's one coming. If you look over there, it's Mabel. Hello, Mabel, baby. Hello, my darling. Mabel has come to say hello to YouTube, and do a big stretch and completely distract me. And I forgot what I was saying, so I might use this opportunity to wrap up and play with my puppy. She's been out of this room for a little while, so she might have been up to mischief. You never know with this one. And she might start investigating those plushies I've donated to her. No, she wants me. Yep, she wants my attention, which is fine because I'm happy to give her my attention and give her a big cuddle because she's a very cuddly pup. Anyway, basically, names are complex. Respect people's names, and until next time, take care of your beautiful selves. Many blessings.